Hedgehog. Sonic, he can really move.
From
Sonic,
the Heart of Broadway, here in the downtown, King Gerardo, Allie Abear, take it from there.
Oh, why are you doing this to me? Welcome to Podzilla After Dark. Woo! Why are you just staring at me?
Perfect impression of Shannon Young. Spot on. It's right down to the woo.
I liked the woo.
The woo is the best part.
Okay, you're still just staring at me.
Look, she nailed your intro, dude. Let it go. Let's move on.
It's Podzilla After Dark. Again, at this point, 4 years later, it's time we just started getting weird with it.
What do you mean start?
Well, I wanted to
I want to see where we go from here.
I want to get super creepy. I just want to stare at Allie for like 5 minutes straight.
Great for the
5 minutes
audio
straight.
podcast.
That is a great visual bit for the audio podcast.
I'll stare at her for 5 minutes and see how she reacts, and let her just take the show from there.
Oh.
Because at this point, the audience is locked in. We're not losing anybody.
No, that's not true.
We had one of our best months last month, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yay.
Yeah, it wasn't our best month, but it was pretty close. We were up there, and I'm happy about that.
Because I know, we missed quite a few shows in April.
Yeah, we missed a whole week.
A week.
Yeah. So
True.
even with a week, we still did very, very well. And I think that was based on the strength of our shows. The quality's been up lately.
Hey, we had the Comic-Con Super Show.
Which is funny you mentioned that, because tonight we're going to be talking about our experiences at Comic-Con.
Yay.
Hey, all
Also,
right.
hey, Shannon Young hosting tonight. It's really cold in here.
It
Little bit.
is.
Is it cold in here?
It
Yeah.
feels fantastic in here.
That's Jesse Kimball down at the end of the table.
It sure is.
Now with 100% more viruses.
Something. It's just sinuses. The sinuses are rebelling against the rest of my face.
Oh, the old sinus face rebellion.
They do. They go at it every other year or so, and I'm the only loser. Everything else ends up fine.
That's good. Don't get me sick. Lindsay Wolf Pup.
That's not my name,
It would make sense if you
But
said
it's-
pup gong.
but it's better than some of the things you've called me on the show.
Lindsay Wolf Gangbang.
That was worse.
You've used that before.
Jugs McCoy.
Please stop.
Even worse. Please do not try to top it.
Oh, I could top it.
I know you can. Please don't.
And then we have the lovely complainer, Allie Abear.
Hi.
Ungrateful to the core.
Just remember the Kirby lamp. Just keep thinking about the Kirby lamp.
Why are you being so mean to me?
You're being mean to me.
I invited you onto the show.
To be mean to me.
No. I mean, you are sitting in Dalton's seat. So that's kind of your fault.
I can't argue that logic.
Yeah,
I'll be
you
honest
kinda
with
brought-
you. I
that-
tried. I can't.
I'm pretty sure that's the bitch seat right there.
Didn't Mandy used to sit on this side?
Yeah, but Mandy's feistier. She
I mean-
fights back.
I say Mandy's kind of a bitch too, just in a different way. So,
I don't know if that's true.
oh, she can be.
Oh,
Anybody
can
lovably
be.
so. Don't get me wrong. I love Mandy. This is a woman that I would take a bullet for, but she's dangerously unhinged. And I love Mandy Kennedy.
Especially if you bring up Sonic X.
Funny you should mention that, because speaking of Sonic, I tagged her in a picture. I'll stop being mean to you now. I tagged her in a picture of Sonic from the new movie.
Uh-huh.
Don't talk to him. You talk to me only. Is that being mean?
Yes.
I tagged her in a picture of the new Sonic movie, and she said, this is inhumane. I can't deal with you right now. So we talked a little bit about it on Tuesday, but the Sonic trailer came out, and boy, we had some complaints. We weren't sold on it.
No,
Let's just put it that way.
not at all.
Honestly, looking at it again, like the Sonic design,
It's terrifying.
it is, but I don't hate it as much as I did when I first saw it.
I still do.
Well, I came to the conclusion that this will never be the Sonic that I want it to be, so I'll just accept it for what it is, and let's see, maybe they'll make a good movie out of it.
Maybe after the Sonic redesign, it'll look better.
Well, that's what I was about to say. So, now we don't have to worry
and that
about
I'm
it.
okay with.
Are you? Because what if they do worse? What if the guy that created it said, all right, motherfucker, you want to
they
complain?
go full fucking werehog on it.
I mean, it'll just be another gem in the holograms where they pull it out of the theaters within a week.
What if it's just a kid in a Sonic suit at this point?
I mean, that's what it looks like to begin with.
A little.
It's just like a little fat boy with a little Sonic suit on. What if it's Jaleel White in a costume?
He'd be taller.
Damn it.
You know?
No, they CG him where he looks shorter.
They took the same Sonic character, but they CG Jaleel White's face on it.
Yes.
They're like, okay, well now it's more authentic.
Or no, they just take a picture of like or they take a picture of Jaleel White in a Sonic costume, and then they just throw him into that Sonic. So he's normally proportioned, but tiny.
I don't understand.
That would be awful.
I don't want to understand.
The director of the Sonic Hedgehog movie, Jeff Fowler, responded to the criticism on Twitter today and said, the message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be. So it sounds like they're actually going to redesign Sonic, which is great.
And that's an intelligent move.
It's a surprising move. I can't recall a movie ever doing something like that. Like being so like, oh, you think it's bad? Well, we'll fix it. Because no one did that for Mario.
No.
No one did that for the Double Dragon film.
I mean, in fairness, for a lot of those movies, we didn't have this, social media.
That's true.
Like
we couldn't
it's
have
so
the
easy
backlash
for
at the
the crowd to express their opinion now,
Especially
for
when
better
the
or
first
for
teaser
worse.
trailer comes out. Even though I guess this is just still the first trailer.
Yeah, it's not a
True.
teaser at this point. Full-on trailer. Because the movie's supposed to come out this year, I think.
Yeah,
Let me see.
it's supposed to be sometime this year.
I'm going to look it up real quick. Because I'm kind of
Which,
curious.
I mean, if Sonic's the only thing they have to tweak and change that is plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
November 9th is when it's coming out.
hey, day after my birthday.
They got time to still fix it.
Yeah, but a lot of people are just saying like, oh, well, let's just CG. They'll just remove that CG and add another one. It's not really that easy.
No.
Like, they're going to have to redo a ton of footage. Imagine how much time they spent making all of those Sonic, like all that Sonic stuff, and now they're just going to ditch it.
Well, I mean, if
Well,
they take out, all they have to really replace
is
are the
the model.
textures. Yeah,
Yeah, the
which they'll-
texture model.
Yeah,
The basic skeleton should still have the same.
yeah, all the rigging and all the other
Stuff.
stuff they've done.
But
then
isn't that
again,
if they keep the same proportions?
do what?
Wouldn't they have to keep the same proportions for them to just change the texture?
Not necessarily.
Because, I mean, like, if they want to make Sonic look more like Sonic, they're going to have to make him they're going to have to stretch him out a little bit, make his legs thinner. They're going to have to change quite a bit.
I don't know. This is where like I wish that Stephanie was still around, and I'd kind of like to ask her about it because like that actually is what she does for a living now. So yeah, I would be curious on her take on like how easy that
Yeah,
would
I
be
didn't
just
do
to
enough
swap.
computer animation to
Yeah, because obviously they
know
already
where
have
the technology currently is.
right, and they already have all their animations, all their physics, and everything else thrown in there. Like they have all that done. So ideally, swap out the textures and call it a day. But
I don't think it'll be that easy. And I also don't think...
well, I mean, like I said, I don't think it's simple and easy are not the same thing, in my opinion. Like,
They won't have to redo the complete scene, I don't think, but there'll be some major tweaking that'll need done.
right? Like it's going to be like time consuming
And it depends
long
on
and
same
shit.
thing, how the models are rigged up and how their program is.
Allie?
I don't know much of anything about animation,
Okay.
so
So
Well,
something a completely different topic here, real quick. We're gonna throw this at
Aw.
you out of nowhere.
I wanna
So
talk more
because
about Sonic.
this is probably the only show that I could talk about this on. Have you heard about this
Uh-oh.
Subverse game
No.
that's coming out? It's like the biggest game in Kickstarter. Like it, I think like right now it's like the
So that
number
can't be
3.
true.
It's like the number 3 because I know it's like Star Citizen. is
Star
number 1 or
Citizen will
whatever.
always be... What is it called? Subverse?
Subverse. It is a porn game based on
Yep,
Mass
I see it.
Effect.
Well, campaign's ended.
Yeah, they've already like well above and beyond what they were shooting for.
Here's the campaign stats for this. 10 waifus unlocked. 14 milestones smashed. 3 manga commissioned. Oh, God. What is it about?
I don't know, but it's porn.
Okay, but when you say porn,
It's-
are you talking like it's hentai, as in like dead or alive, they're scantily clad, or are we talking about full-on sex?
It's like it's apparently based on Mass Effect, so you can form relationship with these the waifus is what they're calling them in game, which to me is hilarious. There's only 3 right now from like I saw the trailer for it because I was curious about what this game was. I didn't know it was a porn game until about like halfway into like the trailer on Kickstarter. Because I just saw like the article said like Subverse like breaks a bunch of records for Kickstart campaign, etc., etc. So I went to it and I saw it. I was like, yeah. So you can recruit like these women to your team and you can bang them, similar to how you could in Mass Effect, except it's going to be much more graphic. and there are going to be a lot more options, and it's going to be a lot more interactive.
So it's by a studio called Studio Foul, who makes computer animated porn films featuring characters from video games.
Yeah.
So like all of those Overwatch porn videos that you're listening to have watched, and you know you have, it's by the people that made those.
And it's some
of those
trailer,
are pretty good.
Yeah, about halfway through, like in the trailer, he says from the studio that got banned from Patreon for making a wolf eat out a girl's asshole
Ew.
comes this game.
So that's weird to me because I thought that Steam, like, they didn't take a hard stance against porn.
They took a hard stance against like rape.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. We're all adults here, even though some of us don't act like it all the time. A sex game, I think, should be allowed. I mean, you've got games where you blow people's faces off for fun. Yeah. Why shouldn't you have a game where you have sex for fun?
Yeah, no. If you're gonna I think it is perfectly fine to have a game where you have consensual sex with another individual.
Yeah, but the problem with that is they've never really made a game that's built around sex that isn't immature and like bad. Because like the closest thing I could think of are the Leisure Suit Larry titles, and they're always almost
And even
parody.
that was, yeah.
Yeah, they're goofy. They're not
Yeah,
serious
those are
games.
super goofy.
They're kind of nasty games.
Well, sounds like Subversus for you, homie.
Yeah.
They've got grid-based tactical action. They have.
Oh, don't tell me that, because then I might actually get it. I like those games.
Yeah, they have like top-down like space combat where the ships are shaped like dicks.
Never mind. You lost me. I have had a dick fetish lately. I don't know if you've heard.
I have heard Joey Ryan did some things.
He did. He changed my mind. He didn't change my mind. He just reinforced what I was thinking. I've played hentai games before. Dating simulators that end in sex. I've played those before. So it's not like I haven't played a porn game, but they, at least, I think they take it a little bit more seriously than this will. This sounds like it's going to be just another embarrassing, like you don't want anyone to know you bought this.
No.
They'll name it something else on Steam. It'll be called like Cookie Simulator 2.0 or something. You don't want people to know that you purchased
turn
this
off
game.
like your settings where you show the people what you're playing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Nah.
It just says it's something else. It's a Bible Simulator or something.
You make another Steam account just for this
That
game.
Except me, I will play it and give you a review.
Yeah, I just saw it, like, I wanted to talk about it because this was fascinating to me, because it earned like almost $2 million on Kickstarter or something like that.
That's crazy.
Well, it sounds like it'll be very gripping.
But yeah, it's like almost $2 million, and it's a porn game. I was like, well, I can't talk about this on Nerd Up, but it's definitely like video game newsworthy.
It's open season on Thursday.
Why can't you talk about it on Nerd Up?
Man, it's a family friendly show.
Kids got to learn about sex at some point. Okay, you know who the motherfucker of the week is? Parents. Parents who come into my store and came into our store when we worked at GameStop and said, is there nudity in this game? No, but the game is built around torturing animals. Well, that's fine. They see that on TV. As long as there's not a nipple. Fuck you prudish bitch.
They are completely fine. Like, that was the one thing I always like went to whenever there was a little kid that was buying, like, had talked to their grandparents or something like that into getting the Grand Theft Auto. I would like, I made the mistake the first several times of starting with the violence. Like, there's gratuitous violence you can do.
That they don't care about.
This, and this. And then, like, eventually I just got to where I was like, you can go to a strip club and see boobies. What? I can't believe I almost bought this for you. And then they put the game up.
And I've tried to understand the logic behind it, because there has to be a reason that people don't want kids to see nudity. And the only thing I could come up with was that it's more plausible that a child who is exposed to sex would have sex, as opposed to a child who is exposed to violence would murder someone. And if you have 13 and 14 years running around touching each other and banging, you got pregnancies and stuff like that. And we can't teach our kids about sex. Abstinence is the only way, and the Lord and Jesus. Allie, you were going to say something about the Lord Jesus?
Oh, no. I was going to say that not teaching kids about sex is how you end up with pregnant 14-year-olds.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, it doesn't matter if they've seen it on TV or something like that. Kids are going to figure it out.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I was interested in girls' bodies was when I was a teenager, and it wasn't because I had seen sex in a movie or anything like that. It's because one walked by.
Yeah.
A girl walked by, and I looked at her booty and went, oh, I want that for some reason. Like,
And
really
then you're just
bad.
like, my shorts just got really tight.
Yeah. It's a weapon. So try to break it.
Yeah, no, that's like I've never understood like why people are like if they don't see it anywhere, then they will never have sex until they're married. Like,
Oh, they'll just have really stupid sex.
yep.
I'm gonna say all sex is stupid. It's weird and awkward and sticky.
And it feels great.
Sometimes it doesn't. You know,
I haven't had that experience though. I haven't had.
you've
as much
never had a
sex as you,
disappointing.
so-
You've never had a disappointing sexcapade,
No, I'm happy for any woman that's willing to get naked in front of me.
Jesse. There's a game coming out called Subverse. You might be interested in. All right, we'll cut off the sex talk there because Lindsay complains that this show's just sex talk now. Says the woman that made the logo be a peeping Tom. And also we used to have porn intro music. So.
I mean, I'm not the one who told you to use the porn music.
I thought it was funny though.
It was.
I miss us doing that. And I've talked to Double H about possibly returning to the show on a semi-regular basis. And he said as much as he would love to be on Thursday, it would be the one show he couldn't be on. And I think we know why.
Oh yeah, no, there's no question there.
We'd have to cancel this show and then start a new Thursday show. But this show's so popular.
Yeah, no, like I think if we canceled this show, there would be rioting in the streets.
The squalor. The kids need it. The kids don't just want squalor anymore. They need squalor. All right, let's talk about the past weekend. We went to Cape Comic-Con here in Cape Girardeau at the Comic-Con in Cape. And we had the wonderful experience thanks to Ken Murphy, Amanda Rhodes, Brian Rhodes, the wonderful people that put this together. Boy, I bet they regret us talking about it on this show. Because Ken Murphy's as straight laced as they come. A man has
don't advertise that we're talking about Cape Comic-Con.
is a Joey Ryan fan.
Well, yeah, who isn't a Joey Ryan fan to be fair?
So
It's
He was
Brown's a
apparently
big Joey
very
Ryan
excited
fan.
when he came out from
He
what I
was.
was listening to CCW Live yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
it doesn't matter who you are. Like that's hilarious.
He had a full on Woody Harrelson. I don't know what that
You
means.
talk about a guy taking a dick flip. It doesn't matter who you are. That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny, wasn't it? I think my favorite part about that was when Becky Brown found out that I took the dick flip. She just
Yeah.
rubbed my hand on her face and surprised she didn't start licking it on the spot. Which,
You're just like, I washed my hand, right? Whatever. It's fine.
hey, you know what else touched Joey Ryan? No. What?
What? Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm not gonna tell you again. Wearing your Thanos shirt, you monster.
Perfectly balanced,
Fucking monster.
as all things should be.
26th, 27th, 28th, we were at Cape Comic-Con, and it was a very, very busy weekend. There were a lot of very cool things. Cool stuff that we're going to talk about that wasn't dirty in any way. So if you want more dirt, just re-listen to the first 20 minutes of the show. It was pretty dirty there. Lindsay had her own booth.
Yes.
Allie also had a booth.
yes,
They shared a booth.
Technically, we shared a
yes,
booth.
we shared.
And then, of course, Gaming Grounds was there. And then, Jesse, you stopped by
I did. I had.
many, many times.
You
Many
did
times.
not have responsibilities at this convention this year.
Well, I did.
For because we had two panels. We had,
Right. Yeah, I was involved with 2 different panels. So beyond that, though, I didn't have any responsibilities, and I helped you guys with stuff.
Yes.
Well, our day started on Friday. Lindsay, I say a lot lately. It's driving me crazy. Lindsay and Allie. No, it was just Lindsay. Did you have help? I forget. now.
What?
Getting your stuff in the.
No, I hauled it all in myself.
Where was shit? There it is again. Shelby.
She was with Mimi. And I told you before, I didn't want help setting up because I didn't know what I was doing, so I just hauled everything in.
There's a difference between having help setting up and having help taking it into the place, isn't there?
Yes, but generally if you have someone help carry the stuff in, they want to help you set it up as well, and I didn't have a plan, so...
Do you think?
She didn't want to awkwardly tell somebody, like,
Hey,
thanks for
carry
your
my
help.
crap, now go away.
Yeah, now go away, please.
Do you think Attorney General Barr lied to Congress this week?
I don't know anything about it.
My cohort's giving me a yes. No, anyway, we're not going to talk about that. So they got their stuff set up. I worked till 12 o'clock, and then we brought our stuff over.
And lunch.
And
You brought me lunch.
I did bring lunch. And it was a really successful weekend for the store. We did we did as much as we did the first year. Last year wasn't that good. Last year we did half of what we did the first year. This year we did the same amount as the first year pretty much. And it was incredibly successful. And the fact that I have to get Lonnie to agree to it is like pulling teeth, and I don't know why. It's like, do you want to make money or do you not want to make money? And sometimes he chooses not to make money, and that's baffling to me, but it's whatever.
He doesn't like to spend money to make money. He just wants to make the money.
$100 investment for a like $2,000 return is a no-brainer. To any sensible person.
Yeah, well, you know, he's Lonnie. Well, I don't know about spending $100, but
but you're gonna get 2,000 back.
Can we get a deal from Ken Murphy? Maybe. I mean, that stuff will sell eventually.
It sure will, buddy. It sure will. We had our first live Podzilla
panel.
Yeah, podcast.
Yeah, we recorded a panel that we did. It was a live panel that we recorded and posted on the internet.
I wish I had stopped calling it live all the time because it was not live.
We didn't stream.
I mean, like, we had a live audience.
We recorded in front of people that were not our usual.
Oh, damn it.
group.
We could have introduced that with, like, this podcast is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Well, I'd say Hunter dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah.
He did do the intro. So, Hunter, that's on you.
Now, I'm not sure if we're going to invite him back. No, I will. Every time. That was one of the coolest things to me about it, because before we even get into who we had on the show, because that was probably it wasn't the best show we've ever done, only because we only had 30 minutes per guest. Yeah. And it was actually more like 20 minutes for us.
We literally had 10 minutes to set up.
Yeah. And turns out we had more time than that because our first guest was late. Not his fault. But before we even get into that, we had Austin Lane was on the pro wrestling side of it with us, which was very, very cool. Best of the Best joined us. And I've been wanting to do a show with Austin for a long time because Austin has been on, he was on Nerd Up once.
Yes.
And he did the one with Jerry Lynn with us. Sorry, the ghosts upstairs again. And I could have sworn he's done a third one with us, but I don't remember what it was. And Austin, if you're listening, you're probably saying out loud, it was this. So that's not Austin's voice.
Nope. That sounded like an Austinified Lonnie voice.
It was Austin Chapman.
Austin Chapman.
There's a scary thought.
Lonnie Lane. That sounds better.
Lonnie Lane sounds like a porn actor.
A little bit. Yeah. I was going with a comic book character because it had the alliteration, but no, I absolutely see that.
I feel like Austin Chapman and Lonnie Lane would star in a film together. It would be called Breast of the Breast.
Breast of the Breast.
Wow.
Anyway, and
he said no more sex talk.
Breasts aren't sexy. You made them sexy. It's not a woman's fault that you sexualize them, okay? High five, Allie.
Please don't high five that. Yes.
She just stared at me. Fuck.
It looked like part of her wanted to, but I couldn't really see the face.
I think she was trying to figure out, is he being sarcastic or is he really taking up my gender's fight for us?
God damn, Shannon.
Was that insulting?
Somehow.
And Double H came back for this. It was very, very cool to have Hunter back on the show. Hasn't been on the show in at least 2 years, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
We changed the format of PWU.
I think it's been more than 2 years.
Yeah, so that was a pleasure. And I don't think he realizes how much that meant to me that Austin and Hunter were on there. That was so cool for me to have two of my favorite people on the show with us. Of course, Allie and Asa was on there with me. And we had Animal on the show. Road Warrior Animal, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, one of the probably the most popular tag teams of all time. And Animal, he's an 80s wrestler, and you never really know what to expect with 80s wrestlers because they could be misogynist and, Allie, go ahead.
They
I
also
think it's your
just
turn.
Wrestlers too.
Completely live their gimmick.
Yeah.
So they trained in the time where you were the wrestler. It wasn't a character, it was just you. And I don't know many 80s wrestlers that have ever gotten out of that.
Because, that is...
To be fair...
And that's something that Animal even talked about, was just these days you have characters that are at each other's throats and, tearing each other apart on stage, but then they're best friends in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Dalton and me.
And, back then, he was talking about, you got to stick to the product.
You live the gimmick.
You live the gimmick.
That's how Bruiser Brody got murdered and got away with it. The guy that killed him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you never heard the Bruiser Brody story?
Uh-uh.
So, this is a tangent, but...
There's a great documentary.
Viceland,
Viceland.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
But the short of it is that Bruiser Brody was this like larger than life wild man character, kind of like Jake Durden. He actually looks a lot like Jake Durden with the long hair. And he wrestled down in Puerto Rico. And when he was in Puerto Rico, he got called into the shower by another wrestler, Invader One, who stabbed him to death. And he claimed self-defense. And the wrestling was believed to be so real at the time that they believed that Bruiser Brody was this giant insane guy and that he had to defend himself, when in actuality it was just a complete murder. Like, it was all a big cover-up. It was terrible what happened to him. But anyway, yeah, watch Viceland's Dark Side of the Ring. It's really good.
Jesus.
Animal was on the show. Animal was really cool. That is the third big quote-unquote wrestler we've interviewed on PW. It was Jerry Lynn and Jeff Hardy we've had on the show before.
Yeah.
Which, Jesus Christ, how weird is that to say? Yeah, we did Animal over the weekend. We've also had Jerry Lynn and Jeff Hardy on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely describe Animal as a big wrestler. I mean, maybe not like currently, but he definitely was.
I mean,
And he at
20
least was
years.
into it. He was excited, it
Yeah.
sound at least.
Yeah.
in 20 years, Jeff Hardy will be where Animal is now.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
Like generations. But yeah, Animal was really cool. I love talking to him. I was worried how Asa was going to react to him because Asa, not a fan of a lot of that 80s mentality. Rightfully so, because a lot of it is archaic and kind of barbaric by today's standards. But Animal seemed to have a pretty good grip on things. Interesting stories, fascinating guy. I would love to have him back on the show again. He nudged me. That was pretty cool. He literally nudged me.
I'm pretty sure he did that when I started cringing when he was talking about his eyeball popping out.
Oh, that was a great story.
Ooh.
That was a great story. Go back and listen to that episode for that alone. That was a great story. You know, anytime eyeballs pop out and you can push them back in, it was always fun.
Ooh.
Animal only got to be on the show for about 20 minutes. He was running a little bit late, and then we turned the show over to Jesse, who had the second part of the show, which was Veronica Taylor.
Talk about a 180 flip in human beings.
Seriously.
My only regret, other than having bonitis, is that Veronica Taylor and Animal did not interact with each other.
Oh, that
I feel
could
like you couldn't
been
have had them both in the same
hilarious.
room for too long. Like, not that much of a confined space.
I would have loved for them to talk. Just talk. Animal, WWE wrestling legend, and a badass. This is Veronica Taylor. She voices boys in Animal.
She voices all sorts of people, in
Yeah.
fairness. She has done a ton of voices. But the big thing is, I don't know that I have ever met such a pure human.
Right.
Like, she was giving out these little cards that she had made that wasn't really promoting anything other than, like, peace and kindness to your fellow man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which just, what a precious human.
Animal was great. Veronica was an angel.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Veronica was also great. Like, I want
Yeah.
to make sure that's clear, too. Like, she was great on the mic. She was great in the podcast.
I feel like us saying she was the perfect human in every way guarantees that people assume she did well.
You know, that's fair. I mean, in fairness, you could be an awesome person and not be great on the mic. Like, look at Kurt.
That's true.
Like, Kurt is an awesome human being and just a wonderful person.
I'm gonna say it if no one else is gonna say it. Veronica Taylor make him look like a piece of crap. Kurt McDowell gonna have to step his game up at this point.
Veronica made everybody look like a piece of crap. Like,
That's true.
I was talking to Pat Kennedy before this. Shout out to Pat. I know he listens to these shows at the very least. He said he was listening to it, and, Veronica was talking about, like, the peace and happiness and everything else. And then, like, Pat just apparently really wanted me to say, like, yeah, on one of our shows, we talk about our motherfucker of the week. I was like, yeah, we do that, don't we?
Do you think that if she knew we had a motherfucker of the week, she would not be on the show?
It's only on After Dark. It's fine.
Veronica,
It's
who's your
fine.
motherfucker of the week?
Whoever didn't tell her that character was really a girl.
There you go.
I was thinking
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, she got upset about that.
Also, I need to stop the show for a moment because I've just been notified by Zane Laney that they're doing a contest to win a customed, for the new movie, a custom Godzilla Xbox One X console.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh.
It has scales, and then it has the things on his back coming off the Xbox.
The spikes. That's awesome.
Oh, baby.
That's
Well,
a sexy Xbox.
I know I'm not going to win it, but I'm definitely entering. Anyway,
Do
please,
it.
go on with the show.
I'll enter it for you, too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I also loved. So I could tell everybody at that table was stupid nervous to be
I
at
was
the
shaking
table with Veronica.
literally the entire time.
So I was trying to get people to, like, loosen up a little bit. I threw Lindsay a question first. 'Cause-
Which I ended up just completely stumping her. because I threw trivia out that she didn't even know.
That was pretty fun. She really enjoyed that, though. And then Mandy somehow didn't see it coming. All right, Mandy, you're up.
To be fair, I dropped the ball with Mandy and forgot to tell her that Veronica voiced Botan in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, that would have been a thing.
Yeah, that's my bad.
But either way, like, Mandy should have had something. But yeah, so I was like, all right, Mandy, your turn. She turned she was the same color
she turned
as a solo
three
cup.
shades of red. Yeah.
Oh, it was funny. And then Veronica just handled it beautifully, though. It was like, because Mandy's just like going full squeak, like, I don't know what to talk about. Like,
She's like, hi.
she told me later that it took everything in her not to like start taking off her jacket, which is the nervous habit that she did on the show. Anytime she got like really like, nervous or like embarrassed or anything. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but she always took off her jacket.
I especially love because she wanted to be on the show.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we were just like, hey, you want to, we're going to force you to be on the show and you don't know what's going to happen. No, she asked to be on the show. And then when she got there, she was like,
She completely froze.
I don't know what to do.
I just love how Veronica handled it. You guys need to go back and listen to it because
Yeah.
it was just delightful.
Yes.
Just like we could talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just like
Surprised she didn't ask her, do you like lights?
then she would have got, I don't know what that is, sweetie.
Then Mandy left.
But no, yeah, like it was awesome. Like it was just a really cool show. It was a really cool it was an awesome moment in our history.
It is.
Yeah.
And now we can add Animal and Veronica Taylor to the list. But I mean, it's not like it ended there. With Animal, it did, other than at Super Show, he came out and kept me from leaving my match with
Yes.
Dalton. So
Which
that
was
was pretty cool.
great.
That was really
But
cool.
yeah, even when we were done recording the podcast, though, she's the one who was like, I want to get a picture with all of you guys.
She was. She
Yeah.
wanted to get the picture with us. She
Like, we wanted that to begin with, but the fact that she initiated it
And
was...
Jesse's got her number.
I was about to say, and then asked for my phone number,
Yeah.
so that she could send me the picture, and then later text me about how awesome the podcast was.
Is she married?
I think
She
so.
has a daughter, so...
That
I know that doesn't
that
mean
doesn't answer the
anything,
question.
but...
Mandy has a son.
Yeah, I think she's. Married
Allie's
with
got
a
two
kid.
cats. Well, one, and you're like an uncle to the other one.
Like an uncle.
An uncle
Yeah.
of all of them. That is the one she applies to least.
So Veronica Taylor was all over us the entire convention. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Like, she signed anything we wanted. She
Yes.
offered anything. Like, she's like, do you want something signed? You want my phone number? Can I make you a sandwich? Like, she was so nice. It was almost disturbing, a little unsettling. It almost felt like at a point we just had to be like, don't you need to get back to like signing autographs and stuff?
No,
We gotta
I was
go.
totally fine with it.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah, no, I
were.
never felt that way. I did not feel like it crossed that line.
Well, you weren't the one crying the whole time.
Shut up.
God damn. Just talking about it at the booth. Just talking about, oh, well, maybe you should go get a hug from her if you want a hug. And then the tears and the red face and Lindsay's waving her face
she
like
actually
this.
would.
To be fair, I survived until Sunday. It wasn't until like the last couple hours left at the con that I got all weepy.
That's because you spent like the entire weekend with Veronica Taylor.
I know.
You guys are like BFFs. Lindsay hosted a Q&A panel with Veronica Taylor.
It was so awesome.
Tell us about
It was
it.
a good panel.
So
I didn't get to see it. I wish I could.
Jack Johnson recorded it and
Oh,
I
that's
shared
neat.
it,
Yeah.
so you can watch it and you can see how badly I'm fidgeting in my chair the whole time. But yeah, so we had a Q&A session in the morning, and I'm waiting at the room for Veronica to show up and kind of ushering people in, because I had a bunch of people kind of like, they'd peek in, they'd see a few people sitting, they didn't know what was going on, so I was doing it's the blah, 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 coming in, if you're interested, have a seat, and yeah, just playing usher for a while, I guess, would be the best way to put it.
Ended up with a full room of people.
Yeah, and when she did show up, she was trying to finish her breakfast, but there was nowhere for her to like go and hide. Like, people in the hallway were still like coming up and things that way, despite Amanda's best efforts to kind of help block her.
Yeah, I think Amanda deserves a medal for how hard she works at those
Oh,
damn
she
things.
does. So she finally came in, and I was totally prepared to do the introduction, and then Ken shows up, and he did the introduction, which was fine with me. And so yeah, I got to sit on stage with her for an hour while she answered questions, and the room was packed. Even the little kids in there that asked questions, they were all spoke very clearly and loudly enough that we could hear. There was only one little girl that didn't, but honestly, she probably wasn't more than 3 or 4. So even for what she did do, it wasn't too bad.
She was one of those kids that, like, I'm surprised I don't think she completely understood, like, how cartoons
work. Yeah.
Because I think her question was
she said,
something
how
like,
do you make Pokemon?
Yeah, like, how do you make Pokemon?
Yeah.
And did you just go, you dumb shit? You know?
No, but it was super cute because, like, Veronica went over to where she was and, like, got down to her level and, like, talked right to her and explained the process of it. But yeah, I started it off with a question, and then for the most part, there was a good flow that people kept raising their hands and taking turns and stuff that way. There weren't any trolls in the room as far as that went. There were a few people that were slightly confused on matters, but all in all, the Q&A went really well.
Like, what do you mean they were confused on that?
Like, they were getting characters that she voiced mixed up.
Oh, I thought they just didn't know
slightly.
where they were.
No.
I know there was one person in there in particular, I think is the one that Lindsay is talking about. Like,
which he at least had the same series, but he got mixed up on
Yeah,
which
it was
character.
like-
which
there was
she
character-
just went with the flow, and
There is no way in hell that you could possibly have ended up with a worse person than we got at the CCW panel.
Oh, I had a good one in my Pokemon panel.
Was it the Reaper of Souls?
No,
'Cause that's who we
it was
got.
the shiny Umbreon that just wouldn't shut up.
We had a guy, he was at the last year's panel too, which is the scary part. It's the same guy every year. And I guess he thinks he's a wrestler, or he's going to be, because he's coming to CCW.
Where he's his character.
He's the Reaper of Souls.
Yeah.
He's going to join House 100.
what does he look
Yeah.
like?
Super skinny, methy.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
that
from
does
Meth
not narrow
Mountain.
down a whole lot in this area.
Pretty sure he's from Chaffee.
That doesn't narrow it down anymore.
But yeah, he was
I mean,
in there.
like, that's just one thing you could kind of guess, like,
Thank
from the description.
God that happened after I left the panel, because I stormed out. I sold that I was pissed off and I left. And then they told me after the fact, yeah, the Reaper of Souls was back.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, that's epic. Yeah, Veronica was the coolest person in the world. She really was.
Yep.
And then after the panel, she was still trying to hide to have her breakfast. So once we got the room cleared out, I just talked to her for 10 minutes while she tried to scarf down her breakfast as I kept her blocked from the door.
We couldn't get our biggest member to do it, Tanner, because Tanner was busy protecting Karen Ashley.
Yeah.
Karen Ashley. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to call her Aisha. That's not her name. That was her character's
She
name.
played Aisha.
Yeah, Tanner had a good weekend. He got to hang out with
the
Karen
Yellow
Ashley.
Ranger and the-
He had a back rub from Walter Jones.
Yeah, he got to hang out with the second generation Yellow Ranger, the first generation Black Ranger,
And
Zordon.
Zordon.
and Zordon. I keep forgetting Zordon was there.
Who Zach told me was dead. Because I told him, I'm like, yeah, he's like, so what? Because Zach replaced Tanner on Sunday, Kurgis, who's been on the show many times. He replaced Tanner on Sunday, and I told him you're going to be with Karen Ashley, and you're also, Walter Jones is going to be there, who was Zach, the Black Ranger, and David Fielding, who was Zordon. And he was like, Zordon's dead. The guy that played him died.
Like, he's right there.
right
I'm like,
over
he's literally
there.
right there. Well, it must be the second Zordon. And I looked up on my phone, like, nope.
Nope.
Zordon.
From 1992 to
But it was a fun weekend for everybody. Everybody
Yeah.
had a good time. We all were successful. These two, their booths were very successful. They made a lot of money. It was just a good time.
Saturday was such a blur between the panels, and then I feel like every time I was back at the table, it was busy. And
I hardly ever got to stay at my table, which kind of made me
Yeah.
sad because I was not only running around for all the various panels, because again, we had the live podcast. Jesse and I hosted a podcasting panel, which we had like 7 people.
we ended up getting quite a bit towards the end that were there early for Veronica Taylor's
Yeah.
Q&A.
And we just stole them.
Yeah.
We're just like, you guys like podcasts? Come here. Sit down.
Make us feel better.
We got to meet some of the guys from Jittery Monkey.
But it
And
ended up being a lot of us just comparing notes with those guys.
that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Kevin
was cool.
Huntsberger did it with us, of course. We talked a lot about, we kissed their ass last time on PW. So if you want to hear us kiss Kevin and Chad and Greg's ass from Jittery Monkey, go listen to PW. A lot of ass kissing on there. So much ass. So much ass kissing in that one. Fuck, you made me distracted. I can't remember what I was going to say. Something about them being successful.
Well, I assumed you were going to go into...
I didn't buy
like,
anything.
he really didn't.
I didn't buy
didn't
anything
either.
at the convention this year.
The only thing I bought was coffee.
That's
and,
not true.
Some stuff
Shit,
from
I
Becky.
did buy a lot of coffee.
You bought a wig.
And a wig.
And
You bought another wig?
Yeah.
It was his disguise for wrestling on
Mimi
Sunday
gets
morning.
me every year. I also bought.
It was only $10.
I
Oh,
bought
that's fair.
the Mike the Ninja trilogy from Brian Rhodes.
Oh,
yes,
who's a
I need
great
to read
comic book
those.
writer. So that was all I spent. These guys, though, she spent $120
Hush.
on
Hush.
signatures
Hush.
for me for later. Are you going to hit me over this?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
That's fair. You're putting her on blast.
No, it's
No,
not the blast. It's.
I realized it as we were talking.
I was
yeah.
trying to disguise.
But like, I
what's
don't
happening.
think I don't.
Yes, I dropped money on Smotographs. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but the fact that you were going to get so violent with me when you know I can edit it out.
I forget about that option.
Yeah.
Honestly, because we don't like we even talked about it on that panel. Like we very rarely edit anything out.
But we edit out stuff that we don't want other people to hear.
That's
Like
true.
when we outed cast members, or when we made dead jokes about wrestlers' tag team partners.
Oh, that get edited
Oh,
out.
that definitely got edited out.
Yeah. But I
Like, what a
also
dick I was being.
That's
I
really
also
good.
paid for tables for 2 other events.
Oh, that's good. I hope it's worth
So-
hitting me for.
I didn't hit you, I hit the table.
That sounded great.
I'm sorry to everyone that heard the loud thump.
I mean, honestly, they've been listening to me like sniffle and snort all like episodes. I'm sure
I can start to
that the
feel
table was fine.
my throat's starting to feel a little funny, and like I don't blame you, but I do.
Nothing I have is contagious.
You're
it's
also
sinuses.
a little bit of a hypochondriac.
That's what Big Nasty said. You like dudes, right?
That's not the same thing.
Oh, because I do.
Yeah, no, that whole weekend, like I don't know if I told you, but like I ended up taking an extra vacation day on Monday.
I
because-
wish I did.
Yeah, I was wiped from that weekend. I ended up sleeping for 11 hours straight. It was ridiculous.
I
I
was too.
finally got to sleep in this morning.
I was too buzzed going in to the weekend because not only did we have the Comic-Con, but of course Super Show 3 was on Saturday, and it was Dalton and I's big moment, and I was really nervous about it. And then I was riding the high Saturday night of having done it, so I couldn't sleep then. And then I think I got to sleep normally somewhere around Sunday or Monday, but I don't really sleep well anyway, so
Yes, it's fair.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because I mean, I had the NFL draft beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I had driven to Nashville on Thursday, got to do
That
that.
still blows my mind that you went to that. I thought you just meant you were going to go watch it at your apartment with like friends.
Yeah, nope. Me and my little brother won tickets.
And then
or my little brother won tickets and invited me to go with him.
And I got a message from Jesse, a picture of him shaking Roger Goodell's hand. He's like, "Oh my God, this is so great! I can't believe I'm shaking Roger Goodell's hand. This is an honor."
My little brother, the pictures of my little brother and Roger Goodell, and then I awkwardly shook Roger Goodell's hand because I didn't want a picture with him.
Yeah,
But he thought I did, and when I didn't move, like he went out to do the handshake, and I was like, "All right, like I'll shake his hand." Like it was, I didn't want to like just completely snub Roger Goodell because I felt weird about that.
right. Even though you don't like the man,
I'm not a huge fan.
this is a man you would not take a bullet for.
No, I would not. But no, Jake and I got invited up to the he won tickets to the draft. We were on the floor. So
Where did
we
you
were-
win tickets at? By the way, I was curious about that.
Jake won tickets with the the Broncos fan club or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, they just you and a guest get to go, and he was trying to find people to go with him. But like his other 3 friends that are football fans, like none of them would pretend to be a Broncos fan for this event, which was important because we were going to be we're going to be there for the Broncos. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll be in a Broncos uniform or Broncos get up to go. So I borrowed a hat and shirt from him
It's
and
still
just went.
another horse.
Right. It's kind of close. We both love Peyton Manning. Yeah, no, so we were out there on the floor. We were kind of bummed at first, but then seeing how far back everybody else was, yeah, we got really happy about it. And then we got pulled up to the inner circle, which was literally up on stage, feet away from the draftees and Roger Goodell. Then he came down and was doing fan interactions and stuff. We got to hang out with Broncos cheerleaders, which was really neat.
Yeah, it was. So, was there a thing where one kid got drafted and then got shot the same night? Did you hear about
What?
that?
I did not hear about
I
that.
saw an article about a bunch of bachelorettes being angry that the draft was going on and the bars were all just full of football
was
fans.
really funny.
That cracked me up when I read it.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm like, that's one of those things that they have events posted of happening in major cities.
I guess that maybe they just thought it wouldn't be as big as it was, but it pulled 200,000 people were there watching that draft.
Corey Ballantyne?
That name doesn't sound familiar. I was only there on day one, but
New York Giants pick Corey Ballantyne shot hours after NFL draft. He just got drafted and he got shot.
That's crazy.
that sucks.
They told him that he could skip the mini camp though, since he got shot.
Well, at least he survived it.
Yeah, his teammate did not.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, it's, like, you didn't know that, obviously.
No,
That's just
I
a
didn't.
shitty situation.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I don't know how I missed that news. Well, then I've been just kind of dead this week. Like, sinuses have been killing me for the past few days, which I felt bad. Like, so I took a vacation day on Monday. I went to work on Tuesday and was feeling like kind of under the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Wednesday, yesterday, I ended up taking off work because I had a fever.
Non-functioning?
Yeah, like I've never gotten a fever from a sinus infection, and that's concerning.
You
me.
got a good infection.
Yeah, it was real bad.
Hey, Lindsay, if you really want to help
Yeah.
me get this Xbox Godzilla thing, you have to retweet something. So,
Well, I don't have Twitter, so
yeah.
because when I tried to get Twitter,
No.
some
Other.
thing had my account, and I had to be like, "No, this ain't me."
No. You don't know how to use Twitter. Just say that.
I'm not kidding. When the Pokemon stuff was doing an anniversary thing a while back, I wanted to do stuff, and it's like some other person was using my email address.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So I reported it, and I've never been on Twitter since.
Which means she probably had a Twitter at one point and forgot.
No.
Then it got hacked, and
Then it got
Ray-Ban
hacked.
started.
I mean,
posting
because that
stuff.
happened to me. I had my original Twitter. Sorry, I'm retweeting it so I can get the Godzilla thing. If I can get it to work. My original Twitter got hacked, and I never used it. And I didn't go back to it for years after the fact. And when I finally looked it up, I was like, well, maybe I'll get back on Twitter. And there was just thousands of posts I had made about Ray-Ban and movies and stuff like that. Like, that's no joke.
My Twitter's this. If you go back to like my current Twitter, like my original posts, I think I can delete them, but I didn't really look into how. Like I have a whole bunch of posts, or no, I have a bunch of DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have one tweet about like 30% off Ray-Bans. Or no, like or $20 Ray-Bans or some bullcrap like that, and then I have like,
And you're like, I don't remember having Ray-Bans.
and then I have like a truckload of DMs that are all like, telling people about cheap Ray-Bans. I'm like, what
What
Man.
is happening here?
And yeah, I mean, Twitter just like has breaches all the time.
Twitter is the worst about that. But I
Yeah.
did just enter the contest, and
Well, it's better now that they have like the 2-factor authentication and stuff. But there for a while, like they still have data breaches all the time. It's just if they try to log in with your password, they can't because 2-factor is set up.
If I win this Xbox One, I will quit the show.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like that would be so important in my life, and it'll be the only time I ever get anything good in my life ever, that I would quit the show and I would just play Xbox all day.
You wouldn't though.
I wouldn't even like the games, but I would play it just so I could play
So
it.
you'd be playing on your Godzilla Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you wouldn't just display it somewhere instead of playing on it.
I guess that's true because I already have a 1X.
Right.
But also, it depends on what it does. If you turn it on and it does like
And
the
it makes
Godzilla
the roar
roar,
noise.
I'd have to play it all like
You know,
constantly.
Billy could probably mod your system and make it do
It's
that.
not the same. That's not the same. I want an official license because you can get
That's
some
not
really,
official license.
You can get some really bad. What do you mean it's not officially licensed?
Didn't you say it was like a custom one specifically for that contest?
No, it's Xbox is putting it out.
Oh.
Yeah, this is officially licensed.
Okay.
This isn't like
It's still a
somebody made it.
custom.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just that
it's like that damn Taco
It's
Bell
like yeah.
Xbox. Like it's real and it's sexy. I'll show you a picture of it real quick. Well, while I'm doing that, does anyone have any comments about the con they wish to bring up at this point? That's not Jesse.
Oh.
I mean, I already talked quite a bit.
Allie, it's on
I
you.
mean, it was a good weekend.
Well,
I
tell us
don't
about
know
your
what else
weekend
to
because you haven't
say.
said much.
Well, my weekend was about the same as your weekend. So they already heard about it.
She was at the table. She went to the wrestling show.
That's like pulling teeth with you too.
I mean, surely like you bought some stuff. You bought some cool
I
stuff.
bought a Jupiter figure.
Well, I can't make it bigger, but here, show that to Jesse. It looks like they took a chunk out of Godzilla and made an Xbox out of it.
Oh, that is pretty sweet.
I think there's other ones too.
Yeah, it looks like there are 3 other ones.
I think it's for the other monsters.
Yeah.
So you can get Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, or Rodan.
That's so cool.
Which, by the way, Zach Kurgis
I kind of like the Mothra one too.
cannot pronounce King Ghidorah right.
What does he say?
Oh, I don't remember. It's like Gira or Gore or something. It's like there's no way he got that. He clearly did not read the word correctly. I think he might be dyslexic.
Yeah, the King Ghidorah one I like a whole lot.
You do know if
That
you
one's
win
real
one
pretty.
of those, though, the cat is just going to want to, like...
It's going to want every bit of everything
it-
sticking
yeah.
off of that.
Which cat?
You know which cat.
Because one cat will just get fucking killed.
One cat will throw up on it. The other one will just rip pieces off of it.
We've got it to a point where that cat will not throw up on my my system anymore because she doesn't get up there. But yeah, there was a time where my cat did literally throw up into the vents of my Xbox.
Yep, that's gross.
So fucking gross. Fuck that cat. Fuck cats in general. Fuck animals. Fuck everything.
You know you don't mean it.
Yeah.
I so mean it. Every time I clean up cat vomit, every time I pick up a cord that's been chewed down to the wire because another cat loves to bite things, I get so fucking irritated. And I imagine, what would life be like if I didn't have cats? I didn't have to leave the door open constantly because she wants in and then she immediately wants out. You know?
You would have that giant-ass house.
We would have a nice big house on top of everything.
Shannon loves the cats, those guys, for real.
It's not a matter of I don't love the cats. If I had never had the cats, it would have been different. It's like when you have children, you love your children. But if you had never had children, you wouldn't have cared and you would have been happier. It's like that.
We don't know if you would have been happier. But yeah, no, some parents do wonder. What if I never had this child?
I know my parents did. Because I was an accident. They were originally going to call me Happy. Because I was a happy accident.
I was also very much an accident. Or a surprise, rather. Because my dad thought he was sterile. When my mom told him he was pregnant, his response was, "Whose is it?"
I've watched enough Maury Povich to know that anytime someone's pregnant, you get that paternity test. Tonight's show is not brought to you by, but it should have been brought to you by Cakes Reanimated, where they have the best, I don't know what it's called exactly, but they're like little peanut butter balls and chocolate.
Oh,
And they're so good. Like I've always loved those. They're the best ever. Yeah.
I also really like the Oreo truffles.
Becky just kicks ass when it comes to pastries. She's also a big Joy Ryan fan.
Yes.
And Villainous Grounds, who supplied us with coffee all weekend long. I need to go pay my tab, which is probably a lot.
Coffee.
Yeah, I had hot coffee this year, and it was real good.
I always do
Real
cold brew.
I normally do, but I wanted hot coffee. I've become a fan of hot coffee again.
I mean, hot coffee is good. I just really like their cold brew. Their cold brew is so ridiculously smooth. And then this year, Mary Jo told me that I could bring in my own cup.
And she'd just fill it.
Yeah, they have a special refill price, and that's what they charged me, and it was awesome. Damn, because I just had that big old like to go cup, and I was like, "Is this too big?"
You should put in just a giant mug, fill it to the top.
Well, I asked her, I was like, charge me whatever you need to charge me to just fill that up, because that was the morning after I'd seen Endgame.
Yeah,
that
was a bad idea.
I saw Endgame at midnight.
We saw Endgame at 9, so ours was a little bit better. We got out after midnight.
Yeah. I got out after 3 a.m.
Good job.
and then had a panel to do.
Good job.
I had too much caffeine.
I remember how tired you were that morning, and thank God
You almost took us home with you instead of dropping us back off at the convention.
That happened even after 2 giant ass cups of coffee.
I'm guessing that was when you guys went for lunch.
Yeah, because I had decided, like, whenever we got to KFC, I was like, I'm not hungry at all. I just want to die, like, on a bed right now.
It's like once you exited the con, you're just like, nope.
Yeah, so, like, I dropped them off. As I was going to drop them off at the Osage Center, my house is right around the corner.
And you just kept
so
going
I'm just
straight.
trying. I almost did. Yeah. Allie was in the back like, Jesse, we got to go back to the con. All right. I'll turn left here then.
you need more caffeine, boy.
I couldn't have possibly had more caffeine at that point.
You just need to hook it straight to your IV. They need to start bringing stuff to the convention that you could just tap right into your bloodstream, you know?
Intravenous.
I don't think that would have helped. I had so much caffeine.
I want to congratulate Ken. I know he's not listening, but they had a record number of people at the convention this year. It was bigger than it's ever been. The saddest part about it is, like, I want there to be more.
I know.
I was sad whenever the convention was over because I didn't have to be here for one, and it was something different. And goddamn, different is nice sometimes. So fucking tired of life.
I would really love it if they do more like mini events throughout the year, even.
Yeah, Ken.
But you said he's
son
not
of a
listening.
bitch.
I imagine, like...
I know Jason's probably... Well, no, I don't know. I think Jason listened to last night's show. Someone's listening that can get to Ken Murphy. Maybe Mimi's listening.
What, Mimi has a connection with Ken Murphy?
Yeah, they're close. We're close-ish. I know Ken's messaged her about things before. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was the go-to guy at this convention. Every time something went wrong.
Shannon, help us with this.
Or if they needed a host, Shannon, you know somebody. If they needed a bodyguard, Shannon, you know somebody. Yeah, I got somebody. I'm quickly becoming the fixer around Cape Girardeau. If you need something, you go to Shannon Young. And not only that, he can also go through tables. He can do dick flips. Like Shannon Young does it all. The only thing he can't do is be happy.
Folks, I need you to, if you have no idea what he's talking about, because I know we have a lot of non-wrestling fans watching this. If you're confused, what the fuck is it they
What
keep
is a
talking about?
dick flip?
With a dick flip, just look up, do yourself a favor.
Just look up Joey
Go
Ryan.
to YouTube, look up Joey Ryan dick flip, and enjoy. You are welcome for having this in your life.
If
now.
you want to see me specifically take the dick flip, go to Fight TV, look up Super Show 3, and use the promo code Q0ED14J, and you can get it for free. And you can watch it unlimited amount of times. Dalton and I had our fight in the ring. It was a lot of fun. I did grab a handful of men's penis and testicles, and it was extremely soft and pillowy. Way better than when I grabbed my own. You know? Like, grabbing my own does nothing for me. But this was pretty exciting. But you can...
And he really does, folks. He gets in there.
Yeah,
he gets
I get a
handful of genitalia.
Joey told me, he was like, you can grab my thigh. A lot of people will grab the thigh because I guess they're uncomfortable with grabbing the man's genitals. But I guess I've been friends with Bob for for years, so grabbing a man's genitals does not bother me at all.
This is old news for you.
Yeah. I mean, they have
Bob
to be
is the king of gay chicken.
They have to be attractive, but Joey Ryan's plenty attractive, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
He looks like he's straight up out of a 70s porno.
He does.
Like, mustache and everything.
He got off the set, walked through the
super hairy.
He got off the set, he grabbed the Infinity Stones and the Pym particles and went right back in time and
kept on appearing in those films.
Yeah. But then he returned them, so it completely fixed the plot holes. I'm getting dangerously into spoiler territory for people that haven't seen Endgame. But if you haven't seen Endgame at this point, it's been a week now. It's your own fault.
That's not true.
It's your own fault. If you don't know that Spider-Man is the one that
you
kills...
would not have seen it by now if
I hadn't whined like a little brat.
I did not want to go see it at 9 o'clock that night. I wanted to stay home.
Sunday night? Or
Monday.
I was exhausted. I had already fallen asleep like right before the movie, and I was super tired, but I went because I got tired of her mouth.
I wanted to see it. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. It was a great movie.
It was.
It was good.
A great movie.
I've seen better.
I would kill you.
I mean, no, it was really good, but I don't think it was as good as like Justice League.
Oh, is this what we're doing today? Like, this is what we're doing.
This is what he does every day.
I know.
You want me to flip a table? Like, that's what's happening? Like, because I'm going to do it.
Only if you grab the table by the dick.
I'll find it.
Do tables have dicks?
I will.
It's got 4 of them right now.
I guess if you tried hard enough, anything's a dick.
It's true. We only have like 2 minutes left, and I am out of material. Mostly because I have gotten tired and lost interest over the course of this show. Not gonna lie,
It's been
time.
a long week still.
Any time spent with her is long. Can confirm.
Damn.
Thanks.
Oh, they didn't know which one they were pointing to.
That's true. Was that mean, Allie?
Yes. I know I'm not Allie, but yes.
Make me feel bad about it. We're going to be back on Sunday with Nerd Up. And then what are we doing next week? Is it... Because I'm assuming that this was the 5-Star Man Mr. 100 show that we did on Tuesday. Because we are all like, yeah, I even labeled it as that on the website. So would that mean that the Hype Train is coming back this Tuesday, right?
Oh, I didn't know you'd label... Probably.
I just need to know what rotation we're in, so if I have to change stuff on the calendar at work again.
Well, what do you have off right now?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because, yeah, you guys did do... before the Tuesday we skipped completely was...
Was it I Want to Believe?
Was I Want to Believe, right?
Because stuff got screwed up again at some point. And it was the day that I had written off on the calendar.
Oh, yeah, because you guys had switched. That was supposed to be a Mr. 100 and the 5-Star.
Again, at this point, 4 years into it, none of this surprises our audience. Skip a show, replace a show, move a show. They're cool with whatever. Yeah, I talked to them earlier. They're
honestly fine. Like, if we do the Hype Train this Tuesday, I'm fine with doing the Hype Train.
You can hype up that
Tuesday.
Borderlands.
Because we're going to talk about Borderlands 3 because holy fucking shit that gameplay video.
I mean, it'll be fun. All I saw of it looked like Borderlands 2. It looked like Borderlands. Borderlands looks like Borderlands to me.
I mean, it had the similar art style, but it was very different from Borderlands 2.
I like the guns. The guns look very cool.
Oh my god! Especially we found out the running gun is just a straight up Tediore option now. In Borderlands 2, Tediore guns, if you throw them, like when you go to reload, you don't put a new magazine in them. Yeah, you throw the gun out and it blows up.
Yes.
That's what happens in Borderlands 2. In Borderlands 3, different Tediore guns have different reload mechanics. For example, one you throw out and it puts out little legs, and then it runs around and goes full sentry on people and will shoot people like with the remaining ammo in the magazine.
That's pretty cool.
So you can fire off a couple of shots, reload, fire a couple of shots, reload. You just kind of keep throwing them out.
I also saw what appeared to be like dismemberment.
Yes.
Like I saw people actually blowing apart, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, because like the animations and stuff, like and models and everything, are what are very different in this game. Like the animation and everything looks so much more fluid and so much prettier. They also added like running dash, like you can now like climb over stuff, which is super nice.
Vaulting, you mean?
Vaulting, yeah. No, it looks just amazing. They decided to go with like the big bad guy is based around like it's more cult themed.
Oh,
which is really cool. It's Children of the Vault. Like we already saw the Calypso twins as our big bad guys. Yeah, they are the leaders of the Children of the Vault. So yeah, they are a full on cult, which is makes the cover image they already showed off make a little bit more sense.
The very religious looking cover image.
Yep.
Well, that's going to be on the Hype Train this Tuesday on the Podzilla 1985 network. And then Sunday, of course, Nerd Up, where Jesse and the gang will be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. I'm very excited about that.
And more importantly, we'll talk more about Borderlands 3.
I'm more into the Sonic, I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, how?
Well, did you see the part where they play Gangster's Paradise?
I sure fucking did, buddy. I sure fucking did.
All right. Thank you guys for enduring this with us. We appreciate it. We'll be back on Sunday with Nerd Up. And until then, we'll grab some dinner. You guys take care of yourselves. See you on Sunday.